Hi, thank you. I'm Hassan Alam. I'm the CEO of BCL Technologies, and this is Bob Krumwidi. I can't go in front of the stage. You go to him if you want to talk to us. He does all the customer interaction. What we're going to talk to you about in the next 6 minutes is how to build an app to unlock financial data in documents. So this is a typical use case where we have the numbers in these documents which people want to extract and use. Often you have to type these in by hand. Analysts will take these documents and put them in spreadsheets. The three things they take out: the value, which is the number, when it happened, the date, and what is it. With these three, you can encapsulate the meaning of any financial number. What we have developed is a platform that will allow you as a developer to make an app that can automate this process. So the two things you need to do: one is you need to come up with a dictionary, or we can help you with a dictionary that will define the terms in your industry. Second, you have to choose the language. We can do multiple languages. We can do English, Spanish, Japanese, Chinese. And then we set up the system and set up the input and output and how the document goes. The technology is funded by the National Science Foundation, so there's a fair amount of research behind it. So let me just walk into how we do this. So when we built the app, there were a few things we kept in mind. The first thing was it needs to be simple. It's a cloud-based system. The advantage of a cloud-based system is that you can run the same back-end application from any device. It has a configurable workflow, and I'll spend a little bit of time on that to show you why there's an advantage for that. And then the third thing which we had is a lot of people don't have knowledge of natural language processing, but there is no natural language processing required. These are some of the use cases we have, and towards the end of the presentation, we will go through some of the use cases as time permits, and then we will, then we can take, you can talk to Bob. So this is how the system works. It's a configurable workflow. So what you do is, if you want to set up a workflow, you set up a set of boxes, and this is graphically done. You have set up the dictionary that you're in the banking industry. The language you're using is English. The source documents are PDF. The output you want is a spreadsheet. You can come into that through a watch folder. You can just dump your documents in there. They'll come out in the spreadsheet. Or you can come out with a REST API and go into that workflow and run it. The nice thing about this approach is, supposing you have a different workflow, you're working in the software industry, the language you're working in is Spanish, the source is HTML, and the output you want is in SQL. And you can have that workflow and not change your REST API or your watch folder. You simply call the new workflow, and then it will go through and put the documents or the data into the SQL database. So quick analysis of how we stack up versus other people. There's automated systems which are scalable and fast, but you lose accuracy. You have accurate systems which are manual. We sort of do the best of both by focusing on the financial world. We have very high accuracy and very high speed. So a quick summary, if I were to tell you what we're about: we can handle any document type, any human language, any output format, any dictionary. That means industry, any platform you want. This is platform independent, and no natural language processing required. Okay. Few use cases to go through. This is Analyst Reports. Analysts take data like this, publish it. It's done offshore. It takes a lot of time. Time is money for them. They do this quickly. Another one is press releases coming in. We can take a press release and put it straight into a spreadsheet or a database or XML as you choose. One of the interesting ones which we were approached about is there's a government agency offshore which wants to see what the interlocking ownership of companies are. We can take that out across multiple documents, put that in a table, and then even show it like this. So the data can be derived and put into something like this, and the tax authority can go and figure out who owns what and make sure all the taxes are paid. In mutual funds, we can look at all the numbers, tag all the numbers, put them in spreadsheets. In a database company, we are taking the corporate data of their clients and putting them into data cache, which is the database. We can extract data from financial reports, tables, or text, and we map them into standard taxonomy, and we do numbers calculations based on numbers and summations. We have been approached to look at something which takes out data from proxy forms and put them in proxy data. Financial wealth management is another area we have seen application where we're taking information out of reports and putting them in spreadsheets. The interesting thing about this is people really don't want to enter their login information online, so this is a way of transferring the data in quickly. And then, insurance contracts, purchase contracts, etc. So that's a quick summary of our system, and we'll be around afterwards to and be happy to answer any questions you have. Thank you for your time.